Hi, my name is Ethan Stensrud. I'm taking this interpersonal communications class, Com 9. So today we'll be discussing chronomics. And so firstly, a big duality in chronomics study is monochronic versus polychronic. Monochronic focusing on more punctuality um, and sticking to a schedule, punctuality, and completing things step by step. This is more common within Eastern or Western culture, rather. While polychronic, which is more common in Eastern culture, is a little more flexible, and multiple tasks are often pursued at the same time. So, yeah, that's generally the big uh, duality between the concept of chronomics, though. So, um, I personally wanted to write about this because I struggle with time management because I have pretty severe ADD. So as I'm recording this, relatively close to the deadline, being sick and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, monochronic time is a more linear approach to time. So, um, not really dynamic in any sense. It's just like a line, flat grid, linear. So this is common in Western cultures such as the U.S. where we live. If you show up late to um, your job, you're going to get in trouble. That's a no in most job settings here. While in uh, other cultures across the world, such as places in South America, Africa, and Asia, they adopt more of a multitasking adaptive schedule, and it prioritizes relationships instead of like commodity or production, rather. So um, often I think in America, especially, most of us probably have lived in America for a long time, or maybe you're just coming here and it's kind of a shock where, all that matters is the deadline, or what you're producing rather than like, creating something a little deeper and meaningful. I think kind of gets lost when the focus is production, 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 and it's kind of like a huge idea that isn't really challenged here. I think in current times with technology, that's a little more challenged, which is cool. Um, but according to research with Dawkins and Law, with reference to the U.S. structure, monochronic time correlates with higher efficiency in the workplace and task oriented. So probably more like engineering or computer science, for example. But polychronic, on the other hand, is going to be more of this creative endeavor. So maybe like I think like elements of business could be that way. Others you could argue are within business is it's more productive to have a monochronic uh, time structure. But um, yeah, it's interesting dynamics to view like different outlooks on production and whatnot in the workplace. So um, also another study by Li and Zhang, it affects how chronomics between monochronic polychronic affects workplace relationships, which obviously in this goal oriented, all that matters is the commodity being produced. That's going to negatively affect the relationships, while in a polychronic society or workplace, um, you can the workplace relationships matter more, and you could argue that that could produce a better product because people are friends. So yeah. And lastly, Carter was a research author that it analyzed the cultural narratives within chronomics, and how it affects like literary studies or pop culture and things like that. So that could have an effect not only in the workplace but also on like art, for example, or maybe how the art is portrayed when it's being made differently and the timing is just completely different. But I found it really interesting just in general with relating it to like a worldwide view of how as Americans, we're very used to um, this production's all that matters, and commodity production and even consumption, and how we view time. And I find it interesting, and I think it would be cool to live in a different culture like that takes more of the polychronic um, approach to time. And that also can include like the difference between like obviously commodity consumption and production is capitalism versus more of a socialistic like in the Netherlands or maybe parts of Southeast Asia. But it's interesting to see how the culture dynamic changes when you have those. Uh, uh, it's political, but it's cultural too. So it's interesting to see how those communities work. And personally, I think it'd be probably beneficial for someone like me that struggles with that rigid time structure with everything. And when I'm locked in, I can lock in, but a lot of the time it's like scatterbrain, ADHD all over the place. So yeah, but yeah, and it's a lot of and also it does include like individualistic versus collectivism societies where individualists is going to focus on their task, producing that commodity, versus a collective society is going to produce more. We're all working together, multitasking, and producing a stronger relationship in the workplace. So. Yeah. Well, anyways, this has been my presentation on Chronomics. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks.